Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Ready to explore some AI with me?
Always excited to dive in. What have we got for today?
Well, this time, we asked our listeners to send in anything and everything AI related that caught their eye this week.
Yeah, I saw the call for sources. Should be an interesting mix.
It really is. Articles, podcasts, Reddit threads, you name it, they found it.
Perfect for a deep dive then. So where do we start?
How about with the topic that seemed to be on everyone's mind? AI agents.
Ah, yes. Those Reddit threads were buzzing, weren't they?
It's like everyone is suddenly imagining having their own personal digital assistant.
And not just any assistant, one powered by cutting-edge AI. It really captures the imagination, doesn't it?
Absolutely. But it also sparks a lot of questions like, how realistic is this vision of AI agents actually being able to handle complex tasks?
Well, that's where things get interesting, because some of the threads pointed to examples of early AI agents that are already out there.
Like what?
Tools that can help with marketing, managing finances, even creating social media content.
Wow, so it's not just a futuristic fantasy then.
It's starting to become a reality, and that's why there's so much debate, right? Some are all in on pursuing artificial general intelligence AGI, the kind of AI that could potentially surpass human intelligence.
But others argue for a more practical approach.
Exactly. Focusing on building those AI agents that solve specific problems we're facing right now.
It makes you wonder which path will lead to the most impactful breakthroughs.
It's a fascinating question, and it's one that everyone listening can weigh in on. Do we aim for the stars with AGI, or do we focus on the ground level impact of these smaller, task-oriented AI agents?
Okay, so we've got the grand vision of AI agents swirling around. But what about the actual tools and tech that are shaping the AI landscape right now? Because there were a bunch of news stories on that front too, right?
Oh, tons. It's almost impossible to keep up. But that's what we're here for.
Okay, so let's talk about Llama, because this seems like a big deal for people who are concerned about privacy and control over their data.
Right. Being able to run powerful AI models locally on your own device, it's a game changer, especially for people who don't want to rely on those big tech companies and their cloud services.
It gives you more power over your AI, which is something a lot of people are starting to demand.
Absolutely. And it opens up a whole world of possibilities for smaller organizations and individual developers.
Okay, what else caught your eye?
Well, I was really impressed by the new features in Codeem's Windsurf IDE, especially the web search integration, an AI that can access and understand information from the entire web in real time. That's incredible.
Almost like giving your AI a direct connection to the world's knowledge.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And speaking of tools that are evolving at lightning speed, we can't forget about AI image generators. Seems like every week there's a new algorithm, a new way to create even more realistic and creative images.
Yeah, we had news about Midjourney, Leonardo.ai, Google's ImageFX, and OpenAI's DALL-E, just to name a few.
It's mind-boggling how quickly this technology is advancing, and it makes you wonder how anyone can stay on top of it all. It's almost like you need an AI just to keep track of the latest AI developments.
Yes, that's a good point. And speaking of developments that could have a major impact on our lives, let's shift gears to a topic that's been generating a lot of discussion lately: AI and the future of work.
Ah, yes. The big question, will robots take our jobs?
Well, there were definitely some concerns about that in the sources we received. You included a Spotify podcast called AI and Jobs Disruption, right?
Yeah, that one really dug into the potential for AI automation to lead to widespread job displacement. And there were articles from the New York Times and the Financial Times echoing those concerns too. It's a valid worry. But it's not the whole story.
Right, because some experts argue that AI will actually create more jobs than it eliminates.
Exactly. By taking over those repetitive tasks and freeing humans up to do more creative and strategic work. The question is, will we be able to adapt quickly enough? Will those displaced workers have the time and resources to acquire the new skills needed in this evolving job market?
It's a big challenge, for sure. And it leads to some pretty big questions about the future of our economy and society as a whole. Like, what will work even look like in a world where AI can do so much?
It's a good thing we have this platform to discuss these things, isn't it? Because these are conversations that everyone needs to be a part of. We can't just bury our heads in the sand and pretend it's not happening.
I agree. So, along with the potential disruptions to the workforce, there's also the issue of ethics in AI. And that's something that's only going to become more important as the technology advances.
Oh, absolutely. You included that Nature article about the ethical challenges of AI experimentation in healthcare, right?
Yeah, it was pretty thought-provoking. It really highlighted the need for greater transparency and accountability, especially when you're talking about AI systems that could be making life or death decisions.
We need to make sure that human values are at the forefront of all our AI endeavors. And that's especially true when you're talking about AI agents that can operate autonomously, because the more powerful these systems become, the more important it is to ensure they are used ethically.
It's a lot of responsibility to put on the shoulders of AI developers, isn't it?
It is, but it's a responsibility we can't shy away from.
Now, speaking of responsibility, there's one more big player we need to talk about: big tech.
Mhm.
Because they're the ones with the resources and the reach to really shape the direction of AI development.
You're right. And you gave us some pretty interesting articles from TechCrunch about that, right?
Yeah, there was one about OpenAI's involvement in AI benchmarking, another about the Pentagon using AI to speed up its kill chain, and then there was that one about Google's Gemini chatbot deal with the Associated Press.
All major developments with some serious implications. It makes you wonder if these companies are wielding too much power, and if the pursuit of profit is coming at the expense of ethical considerations.
It's a delicate balance, that's for sure. On one hand, these companies are driving innovation and pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI, but on the other hand, we need to make sure they're held accountable for their actions.
Couldn't agree more. And it's a conversation that's only just beginning.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've got the excitement of AI agents, the concerns about the future of work, the ethical challenges, and the role of big tech. It's a lot to process.
Right.
And this is just part one of our deep dive.
Just wait, there's more to come.
Yeah,
You know, it's funny, we've been talking about these big AI companies and making headlines,
right.
but there's this whole other side to the AI world, the smaller players, the individual innovators.
And this week's news had some good examples of that, didn't it?
It sure did. Like, remember Llama being able to run powerful AI models locally on your own device?
That was a big one.
It challenges the whole idea that AI progress only comes from huge corporations. You know what I mean?
Yeah, democratizing AI a bit.
Exactly. And it's catching on. That AI agents subreddit. People are really excited about how AI agents could empower individuals, not just companies.
I saw someone asking about an AI agent to help organize data,
Oh, can you imagine? Like sifting through mountains of PDFs and spreadsheets?
and it pulls out exactly what you need. Sign me up.
Right. Think what that could do for researchers, analysts, anyone drowning in data.
That's just the tip of the iceberg, though, right? What other cool applications were people dreaming up?
Oh, everything. Managing your social media, scheduling appointments, even handling online shopping.
An AI personal shopper. That's either brilliant or dangerous, depending on my willpower.
Haha, good point. But that's what's so interesting about AI agents, right? They're not just tools. They're like extensions of ourselves almost.
It blurs the line between an app and, like, a partner.
I saw someone on the subreddit call it your app. Not just an app for that, but your app, personalized.
So instead of one-size-fits-all software, it's AI that adapts to you.
That's the idea. It learns alongside you, constantly evolving.
Makes you wonder how that will change the whole software landscape.
Someone else on the subreddit asked that. Will these AI agents be able to work across all our different apps?
So instead of logging into 10 different things, one AI handles it all.
Yeah. Seamlessly connecting the dots, automating workflows.
Businesses would go crazy for that.
Absolutely. But then, who's really in control? Will these AI agents become the new gatekeepers?
It's both exciting and a little unnerving to think about.
And while we're talking about cool tech, did you see the stuff about AI image generation this week? It's getting wild.
Yeah, I was blown away by that thing where you can turn images into 3D objects.
Create AI, right.
Yeah.
And then you can manipulate them in AI-generated scenes.
So you can basically create your own virtual worlds with AI.
We're getting there. The level of detail is incredible.
It's amazing how far we've come. But with all this power comes responsibility, right?
Yeah.
We have to talk about AI security.
Oh, definitely. Can't forget about that.
It's not the most fun topic, but crucial.
There was an article in IE Spectrum all about how important robust security is becoming.
Especially as AI systems get more sophisticated, more autonomous.
We keep hearing those stories about AI getting hacked or manipulated, and it's only going to get riskier as we rely on it more.
Imagine your financial AI getting compromised. Or a self-driving car taken over by hackers.
Ugh, not a good thought. So as much as we're excited about the potential, gotta stay vigilant on that security front.
No AI apocalypse allowed.
Agreed. Powerful AI, yes, but safe and secure too.
So we've got AI agents, image generation, security. What else was buzzing in the AI world this week?
Well, a lot of discussion about all the different AI frameworks and tools being developed.
The subreddit was a goldmine for that, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Someone was asking about frameworks that let you run multiple local AI models on the same GPUs at once.
It's getting pretty technical.
It is, but it shows how complex this landscape is becoming, even for developers.
Choosing the right tools is key, though, if you want to build a successful AI agent.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the tools themselves, it's about knowing how to use them.
Someone else brought up fine-tuning these large language models, like teaching them to pull structured data from websites.
Reminds us that we're still figuring all this out. It's a work in progress.
It's not just plug and play. You need that deep understanding to make AI really work.
And the willingness to adapt, because this field is constantly evolving.
Speaking of adapting, I keep thinking back to that whole future of work thing.
Yeah, this week's news had a real mix of opinions on that.
Some worried about job losses. Others saw it as a chance for new jobs, new industries even.
There was a Guardian article, pretty thought-provoking, about AI reducing our reliance on human labor altogether.
That's a huge shift if it happens. Impacts everything, not just jobs.
Exactly. Then on a more individual level, Unite. AI had this piece about how teenagers are using ChatGPT for schoolwork like crazy.
So the next generation is already figuring out how to leverage AI, huh?
It seems that way, which leads to a whole other set of questions about AI in education.
Will it be a tool to help teachers and students? Or will it, make people worse at critical thinking because they're relying on the AI too much?
These are debates we need to have now, not wait till it's too late.
Proactive, not reactive.
Yes.
Got to shape the future of AI instead of letting it shape us.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I think that's a good point to pause for a breath, though.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
But don't go anywhere. We've got more to come.
Okay, so back for one last round of AI news. It feels like we've been through a whole AI conference in the past hour.
We have, from tiny tools to the future of work. It's been quite the journey.
But for this final part, let's try to zoom out a bit. Any big picture trends jumping out at you from all this?
You know, one thing that's really struck me is how the lines are getting blurry between AI companies and, those big tech platforms we know.
You're thinking about that Perplexity AI thing, them trying to merge with TikTok.
Yeah. That's a huge deal. An AI-powered search engine merging with a social media giant.
It's like that thing we were talking about earlier, how AI agents could disrupt whole business models. Well, here it is, happening right before our eyes.
Exactly. It's not just about providing information anymore. It's about controlling the whole user experience.
If they pull it off, they'll have access to so many users, so much data.
It's a sign that the AI world is entering a new phase, you know? AI companies aren't just making tools, they're buying platforms, shaping the whole digital landscape.
Makes you think about power dynamics. Who's going to be calling the shots?
But hey, it's not all about corporate maneuvering. There were some uplifting stories this week too, right? AI for good, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. That story about India using AI to prevent stampedes at religious gatherings, that was incredible.
Using AI to solve real-world problems, potentially saving lives.
It's a good reminder that this tech can be a force for good, not just about efficiency or whatever.
And speaking of good, we can't leave out healthcare. Earlier, we focused on the ethical concerns, but there's so much innovation happening, too.
That new framework for improving AI-generated code, the one that uses execution feedback to learn.
Oh, yeah, that's a game changer. Imagine AI writing safer, more efficient code for medical devices.
It could really boost the quality and accessibility of healthcare for everyone.
It could. But it also highlights why responsible development is so important.
We need to make sure those AI systems are built with safety and ethics in mind, especially in a field like healthcare.
Agreed. Okay, one last thing before we wrap up. I gotta bring it up. AGI. The quest for the ultimate AI.
The one that keeps sci-fi authors up at night.
Well, Axios had a report that maybe, just maybe, we're closer than we think.
Really? What, did they crack the code or something?
No, but the rumors are about these AI super agents that could handle crazy, complex human tasks.
Super agents. That sounds ominous. Or awesome, depending how it goes.
Right. Details are still fuzzy, but it does make you wonder, are we on the verge of AGI?
Hard to say, but it's definitely something we'll be keeping our eyes on.
Along with everything else in this wild world of AI.
Well, I think we've officially reached information overload. Thanks to everyone who sent in such a fascinating mix of sources.
It was the perfect fuel for a deep dive.
And thanks to everyone listening for joining us on this whirlwind tour of the latest AI news.
We covered a lot, but it's just a snapshot of what's happening out there.
It's clear AI is evolving faster than ever, and it's impacting every part of our lives.
So as we sign off, we'd love to hear from you. What news story made you go, whoa, the future is here? Or maybe, hold on, should we be worried about this?
Share your thoughts, join the conversation. Because the future of AI isn't something that happens to us, it's something we shape together.
Couldn't agree more. Thanks for tuning in to the deep dive, everyone. We'll see you next time to explore even more of the exciting world of AI.